A lot of people are very careless with the things they put online. So now you're complaining that Google is taking your data, but you yourself, you've put your data out there. You've posted everything about yourself in the world. So for context, your girl was telling people about like a new change that Google had done with Gemini from October, which was saying that from a certain date, they were reading all your emails. Basically, what she was saying is Google is reading everyone's email. My comment is that, look, they're already reading your email. If you're using a platform that is free, there is a very huge chance that your data is what you're using to pay for it. Think about it. Some of us have been using Google Mail for over 10, 20 years. We haven't paid a dime. The vast majority of people use a lot of these products for free. So how are they making money? One of the revenue models, at least with Google, is to use your data, sell it to advertisers, and then those advertisers can target ads towards you. So that periods like this, Black Friday, you're seeing ads of things to buy and you think you want it, but you don't know, or you're not fully aware that you have been marketed to. So most likely, if a product is free, you are paying for something else. It takes a lot of money, energy, time to maintain tech platforms. Yes, there's the concept of open source, but I'm talking about generally. A lot of things are not free to maintain. So there is a revenue model behind it. It might be a known or an unknown revenue model. And I just want you to be aware of it. So that's my first point. Now, the next point I want to make is that it looks like Google reading your email is very shady. But the reason why they can move an email to your spam box, even though you've never marked it as a spam, is because of multiple reasons. Maybe someone else has marked it as spam, or they see the content of the email sounds shady. They have all of these keywords that, they kind of like, if the content of this email, the subject, or even the body, they kind of like mark it as spam, or this looks suspicious. So some messages are suspicious, they're not necessarily spam. So you could see some of those messages. That's another thing. Also, in your Gmail, they categorize your email into promotions, main, subscriptions. The way they're able to do that is because they know the content of the email. And content of the email varies. There's the subject, there's the address, where it's coming from, there's where it's going to, there's the body of the email, there's the attachment itself. All of these are email content. Now, Google has said they don't read through email for ads. I don't believe them, but they have said it. And since 2017, for a couple of years now, they have said that they don't use the content of your emails for ads. They use other things like your online behavior to kind of like target ads towards you. Potato, as far as I'm concerned. But the thing is that there are different reasons why different companies collect your data. And what your data is, while in Gmail, it might be the content of your email, but other things that constitutes your data also include things like your online behavior, the clicks you make on the website. And a lot of websites legitimately use that information to make their websites better. Because if you have a website and you just think about yourself as an e-commerce, you sell bags. If everybody's buying white bags, it means there's a demand for white bags, then you can purchase white bags again. So just think about it in that way. When tech companies see how you're using the data, they can make improvements to their services because they see what you like, they see what you don't like, they see what you engage with and what you don't engage with. Fine, they might use this to sell you more information, but they also use it to make things better. So do with this as you may. So I've said a lot of things. What should you do right now? I'll say that next. First of all, breathe. They're already collecting your data. If you've been on the internet for a while, there's a lot of information about you that can be found online. Don't go paranoid. Don't buy into online paranoia. That's number one. Number two, if you're genuinely concerned about your data, pay for services. Pay for services that would not use your data and sell that data to advertisers. Tough luck. Not everyone is rich, but it is what it is. That's the world we live in right now. Another thing that I think you can do is that when you go on websites, reject the cookies. If you don't want them to track you, reject cookies. It may take some work because most websites have these banners that are annoying and we just very quickly click on accept. Take the time to click on no, don't track my data because I'm not comfortable with it. That's the next step. Another thing that I think you should do is, as much as possible, read terms and conditions. Now, you don't have to read the whole 26 pages of some terms and conditions, but ChatGPT is there for you. Put it in and they'll say, what are the terms and conditions? What would they use my data for? So before you buy a service, you can read through the terms and conditions. That's another thing you can do. Another thing you can do is you can actually write to some companies. If the company has servers in Europe or they're based in Europe, with GDPR, this law does not apply to everybody. Unfortunately, with GDPR, they do have a right to tell you what they use your data for. You can write to them to remove your data or to extract this information. A lot of the time, if they're extracting this information, you have to stop using their services. The rule to use their services, especially for free, is that they need to track your data to make it useful and to make it better. Another thing that you should always do is that don't sign up to random websites. Stop signing up to random newsletters. Stop downloading random apps that they're not accountable to you. So people like Google, you can threaten them because they have a reputation. But there are a lot of sites that don't have this reputation. Stop going on sites that, they will sell your data very happily and there's nothing you can do. That's the next thing you should do. Another thing you should do, stop opening random attachments. Random attachments, these are ways people can collect your data. Long and short, only open attachments from verifiable sources. That's another way you can protect yourself. Another thing you can do, you can follow IFE's recommendation and turn off a lot of these things. But honestly, I think a lot of these things are fear-based. You're most likely fine. Another thing I want to mention, clean up your digital footprint. If you've not been on a website for a very long time, delete your profile on that website. Even now in the world of AI, there's a lot of unverifiable content. People just pull things out that are not verified. Try as much as possible to verify things. It's hard work. It is, not sexy work, but if you really care about your data and you get educated, another thing that I think you should do, passwords and two-factor authentication. So Google is not the only person, or corporate organizations are not the only people you should fear getting access to your data. Your data can be accessed by hackers, can be accessed by people that kind of guess your password. So use passwords that are strong. Use password manager. There's something called 1Password. That you can store your password if you would always forget. Don't write it on a piece of paper. Use tools like this to help you secure your profile, so that even if big companies are not tracking you, the individual bad actors are not doing the same thing. Another thing I'm going to mention is mind what you post. Stop posting things that people don't consent to. Stop posting the inners of your houses or of personal information. Like, for a lot of people, small Google search and a lot of people can find your addresses. There's something called reverse image search and they can find your addresses. They can find you on the map. They can find you all around the world. A lot of people are very careless with the things they put online. So now you're complaining that Google is taking your data, but you yourself, you've put your data out there. You've posted everything about yourself in the world. I have actually written an article about this a long time ago on Medium about how to protect your data, mostly from phishing and hackers, and I will probably post it in my link in my bio so you can read up on it. And if I still get more requests and more comments, I will maybe put together a PDF so you can access all of this information in one place, so you learn how to protect your data. I know some of you might be asking, what gives you the right to talk to us? I have worked in tech for over almost 15 years now, and I've also worked as a data protection officer. So I do know quite a lot of things about data protection and also how technology uses your data. So that's what gives me the confidence and almost like the credentials to tell you how to save your data. That's another thing. Listen to people that are not guessing these things. Listen to people that are actually doing the work. We're not as popular, not as loud, but doing my PSA for Christmas to post this out there, and I hope it is helpful for you. All right, have a good day. Bye.